Hi everyone, I'm Reyna with Reynamichellerealty at Keller Raleigh, residential and commercial. And I am here every Thursday at 11 to talk to you about all things real estate. Today's topic is for home sellers and about the home selling process. So, when you're considering selling your home, the first thing you want to do is reach out to your trusted real estate professional to start the process. So, hiring a real estate agent will make sure that the process goes smooth right from the very beginning all the way through to the end. It's also really important to have a real estate agent to help negotiate on your behalf so that you can get the most amount of money for the sale of your home. Also, your real estate agent will take care of all of the marketing for you. So, one of the first things you want to consider when selling your home is your timeline. If you accept an offer from a buyer who's planning to get a mortgage, it'll generally take between 30 to 45 days to close on that sale. You'll also need to consider the amount of time your home is likely to be on the market, and you need to consider the amount of time it will take to prepare your home to list. So it depends on, how much clutter you have around your house, how much cleaning you need to do, whether or not you have any deferred maintenance projects. Some of these can be time consuming, but again, that'll depend on your unique situation. So we'll need to take a look at your timeline and get you set up on the path for success right from the beginning. So one of the first things you'll do, like I said, is to prepare your home for professional photography and for showings. One of the things that you'll need to do to prepare your home, like I said, is to declutter, clean, and there's a lot of really great tips and tricks you can do to really get the most amount of value from your home. I'll go through in another video next week a whole bunch of different tips and tricks you can do to prepare your home. And a lot of them cost little to no money. So be sure to tune in next week for all of those tips and tricks on how to prepare your home for the listing. So the other thing your agent will do for you is take care of marketing your home. One of the things that I do as your realtor is I hire a professional photographer to come in and do the photos. Most buyers these days start their home search online. So it's really important to have really great professional photos that showcase your home in the best light possible. Your agent will also take care of all the other marketing for you. We'll list it in the MLS and on all of the websites for sale. We'll also do other marketing such as reach out to your neighborhood, email, print campaigns, possibly postcards, and open houses. So there's a lot of different ways to make sure that your home gets seen by the most amount of buyers possible. Another thing you'll need to do for prepping for listing is decide what to do during showings. So you'll need to have a plan set up in place to make sure that when you leave for work in the morning, the home is already ready to go for a showing. You don't want to, leave your breakfast set up on the kitchen counter or have the beds unmade. The home needs to be maintained in a for showing, ready state. That way, when you get the text on your phone alert saying that there's a showing request, you're ready to approve each one of those showings, because it is really important to make sure that the most amount of potential buyers sees your home so that you can net the most amount of money. Another thing your agent will help you do is determine what price we should list your home for sale at. And how we do that is by comparing it to recently sold homes in your neighborhood that are very similar to your home. And that way the market will tell us what your home is worth at this moment in time and what price we should list it at. Another thing that we need to take into consideration when pricing your home is price bands. So let's say, for example, that the comps in the neighborhood in the market is telling us that we should list your home for $355,000. We may want to consider our strategy with price bands because, again, most buyers start their home search online. And when they search online, they search in between different price bands. So let's say the home buyer is going to search between 350 and 375. Your listing of 355 will show up in that search. However, if we list your home for 350, then your home will show up not only in the 350 to 375 search, but it will also show up in the 325 to 350 search. That doubles the amount of buyers that are going to see your home online. So by doubling the amount of potential buyers to see your home and making it available for the greatest number of people to see it is the best way to get multiple offers on your home that may even be over asking price. So again, pricing bands are another part of the pricing strategy that we'll take into consideration, and that'll depend on your unique situation. Feel free to give me a call if you'd like a consultation for your home specifically. So once we have done our showings and we've received some offers, we need to decide which offer to accept. And again, this is where it's very important to have your real estate agent to help you through this process, because you don't necessarily just want to accept the highest offer. There's a lot of other factors that need to be considered. For example, in the offer, the buyer may have a high dollar amount that they're offering, but in the concessions part of the contract, they may be asking for a significant amount of seller concessions, which affects the overall net that you'll receive for the sale. Other things you'll need to consider are how much due diligence and earnest money are they offering you? Do they seem like a serious buyer who's going to move forward to close? Or does the due diligence and earnest money amounts, give the impression that they may not be 100% serious? We also need to consider in the contract, is their offer contingent upon the sale of another home? If so, and they are not able to sell their home, that means that this contract that you accepted is going to fall through. So we need to, weigh the positives and negatives to that decision and decide if we want to accept an offer that is contingent upon the sale of another home. Another thing to consider is if the offer and that buyer is planning on getting a mortgage to complete that transaction, have they been pre-qualified for that mortgage? Do they have the buying power to complete the transaction? That's a very important fact to consider. Also, your closing date is important. Your buyer will put in the offer the date that they'd like to close that lines up with their timeline. But we need to consider in the offers which one of those closing dates is going to line up with your timeline. So all of these different factors will be taken into consideration, and I will help you decide which offer based on all of these factors is the best one to accept for you in your situation and your family. Once we have gone under contract, the buyers will pay to have a home inspection done. After the home inspection is done, there may be a renegotiation that happens at that point. Now, during the inspection, there may be nothing big that comes up. It could be just minor things like a loose doorknob or a crack in the driveway. But there could be major things that the seller just didn't know about. Maybe there's a problem with the HVAC system or something more costly to fix. In that instance, the buyer is going to ask for either repairs or concessions, money off. That is, again, when you need a trusted real estate advisor in your corner to negotiate on your behalf and make sure that your best interests are represented so that you can net the most amount of money for your home. Once the inspection's been completed and renegotiation is done, we can move forward to closing. So on the closing date, you will have had completely moved out of your home. It'll be nice and clean for the new buyers to come in, and you'll show up to the closing table. Well, now that it's COVID, you won't actually be at the table. You will be safely in your car at the closing attorney's parking lot, and you will safely sign your documents right from there, and you will get paid. So that is the home selling process. Please reach out to me with any questions that you have. I would be more than happy to chat with you, or if you're interested in a consultation on your home specifically, I can get that scheduled for you as well. And make sure to join me next week for all the tips and tricks on how to prepare your home for showings and listings so that it can be in the best light possible. I am Reyna Michelle. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Reynamichellerealty, transform your future.